You concentrate on dominate. Nothing needs to change but your mindset. I don't need knowledge. I need specific knowledge. Stop thinking you deep because you reading and you studying. No, you need explicit knowledge.
Get focused on the target. The target is not the activity. The activity can change. It's what's the result I'm after. Clarity is power. The more clear you are on specifically what you want, the faster your brain can get you there.
True winners, they never lose focus. They always focus on the goal. They always focus on the process, and they always focus on being the absolute best that they can.
The reason why you stop and start, and you stop and you start, is because the goal is not meaningful enough. Who are you doing this for? That person that you think about has to be louder than the snooze button. So when you think about Granny, you gotta think about, do I hit the snooze button, or do I get up and make it happen for Granny? It's not just about you. When you finally go after the stuff that you were afraid to go after, that's the stuff I'm talking about. I'm talking about going after the stuff that scared you. What are you going after? Or better yet, why aren't you going after it? All I need you to do is declare that yesterday was the last day that you were a loser. Like yesterday was the last day you expected to come up short.
You do the work now, and all that you could ever want to do for your family, your kids, your loved ones, it's all going to be on a whole nother stratosphere.
I made a decision, Pat, I truly want to find out what you're capable of if you're fully focused. Anytime in my entire life, I've been 100% focused, I've always won. Anytime. You have as well, by the way. So if you think about yourself, go back at any time in your lifetime, you've been focused for 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, guaranteed you won, because it's a formula. And I knew most people weren't going to do it. I knew most people would get discouraged. I knew most people would get distracted. I know most people are going to say, I have family issues, health issues, market issues, this isn't for me, it's not my passion. It's all this stuff that they make up because they simply don't want to do the work, because they're frightened of the work. Now you don't have to be that. Most people have half their life all the time. I knew they were going to get tired. They were going to flinch. They were going to get down. They quit improving themselves. They start sleeping in. They spend all their damn money. I'm not going to do that stuff. I'm going to save money. I'm going to get up early. I'm going to stay relentless.
I don't alter my mission ahead. No one's with me, because I don't allow them to. It's got to be that way. It's got to be unconditionally focused.
I don't care about the party. I don't care about TV. I don't care about any of this stuff. 100% focused. I am not going to get distracted.
And every day you try to master it, be the best you can be.
Practice only makes improvement. Perfection doesn't exist. You can always better your best. You have not done your best work yet. Long as you're here, you have a chance to transcend yourself. Meditate on this stuff. Focus on this stuff. It don't mean negative things won't happen, but we're not focusing on it. We're going to focus on what's positive. We're going to focus on what's good. And when we focus on that, that's where our energy is going to go. I need you to take ownership of your thoughts.
Own your life, guys. You had every opportunity. There's no excuse not to be the hardest worker in the room.
And I guarantee if you put the right energy, the right effort, the right focus, it's only a matter of time.
If you want to live in paradise, you gotta fight to get to paradise. There is no easy road.
When I was losing the weight, I had to miserably wake up every morning in the cold. This is your new life. It sucks. It just sucks. And it's gonna continue to suck. Because to get to where you wanna go, there's gonna be more times you do something that you don't wanna do than you are gonna wanna do it. And that's your new norm. My new norm is you get up every morning at 4 o'clock and you suffer. That became my life. Most people wanna get out of it. This is your new life. This is who you are. You have to say, you, I run this.
When you feel that, step it up. Push harder. Make yourself get out of the comfort zone and get into the combat zone where you have to fight, where you have to dig deep, where strength and power and fortitude are found.
I don't want to live this lifestyle, but to get to the other side of this, I have to. That's how you start to callous your mind. So that became my life. It's going to suck. It's not going to be fun. Do something that sucks every single day of your life. That's how you grow. Embrace the suck.
When life is over for you, I need you to die on E. I don't want you to have one idea left in you. I don't want one dream left in you. When you die, I want you to go for broke. Every book you were supposed to write, every degree you were supposed to get, everything you were supposed to accomplish. When you die, don't go to the grave with nothing. I want you to give everything you got, full potential. I want you to get everything out your system, because most people that are alive are living on neutral. So I want you to get out of neutral and put it in drive.
You get out of bed when it's cold, when it's early, and go for a run. Commit to one day and see how you feel. As you're jogging and back in around 5 or something, and your neighbor's just getting up, grabbing the coffee, looking outside, wondering, what the day's gonna hold for them. Well, your day's already provided something for you. And then you go back your day at work, and your coworker's like, "What happened to old Greg, man? This is a new. Who's this?" That's right. They're here to stay and get on my plan or get my way. When everybody else says, "No, this is not comfortable, we shouldn't do this," you say, "Yeah, I'm gonna introduce myself to it."
I will my way through every situation, every trial, every tribulation. I will my way through it. I don't care if you fail the boards, go again. I don't care if you fail the law exam, go again, will your way through it. Some things you can skill yourself through, some stuff you gotta will your way through. You're still living off talent. Average people live off talents. Phenomenal people live off efforts. If you will be a champion, if you will be a beast, you're gonna have to go through something. Ain't nobody gonna hand you nothing. Ain't nobody gonna hand you no championship. Ain't nobody gonna hand you no title. You have to develop a doggedness in order to make it. You gotta have some toughness in you. And the only way to develop toughness is you gotta practice being tough. And you cannot practice being tough by quitting every time you get tired, by stopping every time you don't feel like it, by giving up every time you get challenged. That's what's wrong with people now. People don't make it because they always give up when it get hard. It's so challenging now. They was talking about me. I feel weak. I'm tired. Life don't give a damn about you being tired. In life, there's a lot of things we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be our best. We're supposed to get up early. We're supposed to work out. We're supposed to be uncomfortable. We're supposed to do all these things that people are now looking for kind of back. You got to get about the business now. You want to be successful, you got to get at it. You gonna stop all this soft shooting and all that mess, man. You got to get at it. You got to tear their mouth out. I don't see failure. I see grit, determination, drive, sacrifice. Failure means you're trying. A whole bunch of people out here never fail because they never try. I don't look at it as failure. I look at it as my first, second, third attempt. The skill of mental toughness is a skill that you must have. And when you have a day that isn't going your way, that's a gift. And it's a gift because you get to test yourself. And when you pass the test and you got through the day and you push yourself through, even as you had to drag yourself through every step of that day, when you get through that day and you look in the mirror and you say, "Pass that test." Nobody can. That's a powerful thing. And you make a deposit into your psyche that reminds you of how bad you really are. Nobody's gifted with it. It's developed. They are perishable skills, meaning if you don't invest in them, they will go away. If you invest in them, they will get stronger. Just like all the muscles in your body, when you test them, they get stronger. Your life is no different. Your brain is no different. So the next time you have one of these days, this isn't going your way, remind yourself that it's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to test yourself. It's an opportunity to know what you're actually made of. This sort of thinking is what champions do. One thing in life that's for sure, the value always wins. Always, always. Embrace the suck, adapt to the suck. We're all faced with a time of challenge and controversy. Adversity causes some cats to break and other cats to break records.
There's times where you're gonna have to do it alone. There's not gonna be any team support. There's not gonna be any family support. There's not gonna be any friend support. There's gonna be times where you've got to go and do it yourself, and you gotta do it alone. And those are the times that make a difference. Those are the times that count. Those are the times where you have to dig deep yourself to get the job done.
And the type of commitment that I'm speaking of is the commitment that says, I am going to stay true to what I said I would do, long after the mood that I've set it in has left. Because there's some things you just can't get without perseverance. And you're gonna have to fight and fight and fight and fight. And most of you won't be successful, not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you long enough to get to your new you.
And the difference between winners and losers is how we adjust to these hard times. Winners, they understand that the path they've chosen is going to have resistance. They look at it as, well, yeah, I'm tested today, and you know what? I'm gonna pass that test. And whenever they have the hard thing that happens, and then they overcome it, they gain more confidence because they overcame something that the previous version of themselves or the rest of everybody else would have just quit when it happened to them.
Things are gonna get harder, things are gonna get tougher. That's the way life works. What you need to do is you need to get harder and you need to get tougher.
Nobody gave me this, I earned it. Life wasn't a crystal stair for me. Didn't nobody give me a network, I earned the network. Everybody say, E, how did you crack the code? I grinded my way through the code. That's how I cracked it. I got up every day at 3. Monday I grind, I ain't never give in. I just keep grinding. There's certain things when you're privileged that mama can buy you, but you can't buy grit, and you can't buy grind, and you can't buy resilience, and you can't buy heart, and you can't buy that dog. I don't care where you come from, I want you to be the best at what you do. You don't need this, or that. All you need to be successful in this world is that dog. You gotta wake up every day and compete. You gotta go after it. Everybody said you don't read well enough. You're not a critical thinker. I'm not, but I'm a beast. You ain't gotta be smart when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you got that dog. You gonna have to play hurt. You gonna have to play when stuff is going on. It's a work that separates the boys from the men. Are you ready to do the work? Are you ready to put in the work? Stop whining, stop crying, stop asking. I want your work to go before you. Everybody want to be a beast till it's time to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Everybody want to be number one till it's time to do what number one do. I'm about that life. I get up every morning at 3 o'clock. When I want to get up, when I don't. When I feel like it and I don't feel like why? Because I'm process driven. I'm not feelings driven. Champions are not feeling driven. Champions don't get up when they want to. There is a championship coordinate and you can't change that. You gotta be intentional and deliberate. You gotta decide that you're gonna do something and you gotta do it every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. Consistency is having a goal, and when you wake up that day and you don't feel like it, you still do what you told yourself you was gonna do. It is the days you don't feel like doing it, but you look at your wife, you look at your kid, and you realize, I gotta get up and make it happen, even though I don't wanna get up and make it happen. Set the standard, then raise the standard, then uphold the standard every single day. If you're not willing to do it every single day, you're not going to beat the man that's doing it every single day. Some of you like, that's too much. Well, you're not going to be a champion. You're going up against other champions? You think you're going to get 50%? You think you're going to get 70%? And you want what these people who's giving sweat, who's giving blood, who's giving tears, you want what they paid for, and it ain't free. I'm not the best. They better than me, but they have not outworked me. You might be taller than me. You might be bigger than me. You might be stronger than me, but I'm coming, and I'd rather die trying. I'd rather give everything I got. I'd rather give a year. I'd rather put in work and fail to not try it all. The real beast is the last 4 minutes. The real beast is when their legs give out. The real beast when they tired. The real beast find a way to pull something out when nobody else ain't got nothing. Some of y'all soft. There's no better word for it. You're soft. You want to be a champion, but you don't want to work like a champion. I dare you to give 120% and stop choking. The good part of you know you can go to school and get a 4.0. The lazy part saying we ain't getting up today. Stop calling other people haters and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm hating on me.
You're going to have to commit at another level to discipline, because fruit only comes through consistency. Without discipline, you're available for attack all the time. Without discipline, you're indoctrinated with insecurity. Without discipline, you're overwhelmed by anxiety. Without discipline, you're not prepared for the future. There's got to be some type of discipline attached to whatever you want deliverance in.
And to get to the next level of success, you can't just have energy when you got energy. You're gonna have to learn to be disciplined.
Your mind will always choose the path of least resistance. We have to train our minds to choose the path of most resistance.
You will get tougher every time you push through. You build strength, not just physical strength, mental strength, tenacity, will. You're not just born with will. You create it, you develop it through effort. And every time you put forth effort, your will, your discipline becomes stronger. And every time you quit, your will and your discipline gets weaker. Do not allow that. You cannot allow that. Every rep counts, not just in the weight room, but in life.
And so I'm looking at the clock and I'm saying, technically, you can go back to sleep, technically. But if you go back to sleep, you might not wake up to 3:30. You might not wake up to 4 o'clock.
And if you wake up at 4 o'clock for 30 minutes of sleep, you might be pushing your goals back a week, a month, an entire year by sleeping for 2 hours because you missed an opportunity.
You gotta wake up every day and you gotta go get it. Execution is not something that we do, it's something that we are. And most of us aren't disciplined. Because if you don't have personal discipline, you'll never get to the next level. If another human can tell you to get up and go to work and do what you're supposed to do, you be that human.
Your mind is the most important thing you have, and you gotta control it. You gotta move you every single day.
It doesn't matter how I'm doing. It doesn't matter how I slept last night. It doesn't matter how I feel.
I don't care how it feels. I don't care if it's easy or hard.
Don't care. Go through the motions. Get it done. Don't voluntarily do anything tomorrow that you should be getting done today. Get it done today.
You gotta get control of your brain. Control the things you think about. You can actually control how you feel. You can control what you think, and you can definitely control what you do. You gotta be the master of your mind.
You have got to suffer to grow. And that starts by not hitting the snooze button. It starts by waking up. No, you don't want to do it, but that gives you the strength because you did it. If you do something you don't want to do every morning, you're already giving yourself the proper dialogue to attack your insecurities, to attack what the world's going to give you. You have to attack. You have to keep attacking. If you keep on attacking something, nothing wants to stand in front of anything that is relentless. The enemy has to know he is not going to give up. You must break the soul of whatever that's in front of you.
All of us can go buy a car, but all of us can't get up in the morning and grind. You gotta win in the dark before you can win in the light.
I want to win the war in the morning. I clean my room, I clean my house, I go for a run, I work out. Because the second I leave my house, the second you look at your phone, the second you turn the TV on, you're in a battle. All this negativity is coming at you. But if you're able to fuel yourself in the morning, win the war in the morning, so you have the strength to face what you're going to face in the world.
Discipline is doing what you said you were gonna do when you don't feel like doing it, when you felt like doing it in the first place. You gotta discipline yourself, and you gotta learn that when you don't feel like it, you must still do it or actually go harder when you don't feel like it. Because out of 365 days, there are going to be days you don't feel like getting up. There are gonna be days you don't wanna work out. There's gonna be days that you don't wanna practice. There might be days you don't even feel like getting in the game. You're gonna wake up most days and not be pumped up. You're gonna wake up most days and not feel like doing it. But when you can get to a point that you do it anyway, then there's no way you won't reach any of your goals.
Are you gonna get burned out? Yeah, I get burned out, but that doesn't mean I don't still do the thing I need to do. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what you feel like. It doesn't matter how frustrated or angry or depressed or upset you are. All that matters is that you do what needs to be done on a daily basis over and over and over again. And if you do that and it gets done, you're gonna feel a lot fucking better about your life than you do right now. How you feel about your life at the end of your time here is going to come down to your ability to cultivate discipline. It's going to come down to you developing the ability to do the things that you don't feel like doing because you know that it's the right thing to do. When you start anything, to learn something new, to create a business, to become more in shape, the first step, the first day, the first minute, you're excited. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. The next day comes and you're like, man, this is a little tougher. And then you take another step and another step, and you end up admitting to yourself, this is pretty damn hard. The enthusiasm from the beginning of the process starts to fade out. You forgot why you started. All you could think about is that next grueling step, that next terrible workout, that next day at work that you just can't stand anymore. And you forget the purpose of why you started. And things become monotonous. They become hard. They become miserable. You become angry. You become frustrated. And guys, that is normal. Anytime you start something new, anytime you set out on a new path, anytime you move out of your comfort zone, you're gonna go through a bell curve of frustration. You're gonna be excited, you're gonna be pumped, you're gonna have the momentum to carry you through the first 2 or 3 or 4 days. Maybe it's a week, maybe it's 3 weeks. But what happens when that energy fades? What happens when you start to get frustrated? What happens when you start to feel like a grind and things get grueling and they get gritty and they get tough and it gets harder to move through the process every single day? What happens then? Most people quit.
Do not accept that. Do not allow the process to break you. You embed that long-term goal into your brain, and every single day of your life, from here on out, you do something about it. However small or insignificant each step may seem, you take it. You make it happen.
The way in which you make massive progress is learning the art of becoming single-minded, learning how to concentrate, learning how to focus in. And you'll be surprised at the things that you're able to do when you learn how to block things out, when you learn how to keep thine eyes single.
Clarity is power. If you know exactly what it is you really want, what you desire, what you're really after, the more clear you are on specifically what you want, the faster your brain can get you there. Your brain's like a servo mechanism and a missile. It locks on the heat signature, what does it do? It moves and follows it. That's the way your brain is if it knows the outcome, if it knows the result. I need to know the result and the after before I ever ask myself what to do. Stay focused on the target. The target is not the activity. The activity can change. It's what's the result I'm after. If you just keep looking at those outcomes every day, how am I doing on that outcome? Your brain will come up with ways to get to that outcome. I promise you. Focus on outcomes, not on activities.
You'll be surprised at the ideas that will come to you, of the opportunities that you'll be able to see. You'll begin to see things that have been staring there, looking you in the face, saying, I can't believe this has been here all this time.
If you're creative enough, can you find the answer, yes or no? If you're determined enough, can you find the breakthrough, yes or no? If you're passionate, loving enough, can you get someone to help you, yes or no? If there's no way that you're committed, can you find the money, even if you don't have it, yes or no? Creativity, decisiveness, passion, these are the ultimate human resources. And when you engage these resources, you can get any other resource on earth. And if you don't have what you want, stop telling yourself the story because you don't have the money, you don't have the time. It's because you haven't committed yourself where you would burn your boats. If you want to take an island, burning boats, and you will take the island because people, when they're going to either die or succeed, tend to succeed.
And you've got to be so relentless, regardless of what comes down the pike, that you're always looking for a way to get over, always looking for a way that you can break through, always looking for a way that you can win, always looking for a way that you can strike a telling blow.
Wherever focus goes, energy flows.
If you focus on the obstacles, all you will see is obstacles. I can't get apart. I can't do this versus I'm going to keep doing this. It's such a huge thing to convert things into the affirmative.
See, a lot of us, because of our limited vision of ourselves, a lot of us who begin to focus on problems and enable them to overwhelm us, we begin to think that we have no options. We begin to believe that there's no way out. There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way.
But many of you all over the place, and that's why you'll never be what you want to be. That's why you'll never have what you want to have. And I'm asking that the 24 hours in your life be very intentional, very deliberate, that you be very strategic. You're very deliberate about what time you wake up. You're very deliberate about what time you go to bed. You're very deliberate about what you eat. You're very deliberate about the people you bring in your life. You are very deliberate about the books that you read. You're very deliberate about what you watch on television. You are very, very focused, intentional, and deliberate. You go in the future and you see your future, baby. You look at it. You see where you want to be in 20 years, in 30 years, in 40 years. And then you come back to the present, to this particular day, to this particular spot. Get in the spot and you master today, and you don't worry about tomorrow, and you ain't tripping on your past. Why? Because your past don't count no more, and your future is so far ahead that you don't even need to be worried about that. You master the present. You master Monday, and then you take on Tuesday. And once you lick Tuesday, then you say Wednesday, come on. And then you take Thursday, and then you master Friday, and then you tell the weekend, bring it on. And when you get to the point where you start winning the day, then you start winning a week, and then you start winning a month, and then you start winning a year. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Go fast, go hard, and win the day. And if you can do that, you'll have, you'll be, and you'll do whatever you want to do.
Sometimes a setback and you being in the dumps and miserable and frustrated about all of these things that keep going wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong, and you're looking for something to go right. When it finally starts going right, you're going to appreciate it that much more.
You cry, you're hurt. At the end of the crying and the hurt, don't give me a story. I don't need a story. At the end of it, I need you to get a reward. You already cried. You've already sacrificed parties. You've already given up sports. You've already given up a whole lot of stuff. And now you're about to cry and give up. You're about to cry and go home. If you were going to quit, you should have quit before you started. You don't come this far. You don't invest this much time. You don't invest this much energy to give up. Recycle your pain. You can decide the shape, the form. You can decide the product that comes from your pain. Get something from it. You already in pain. Use it. Do something with it. Allow it to take you to the next level. Allow your pain to push you to greatness. This is what I need you to do for me. When you walk out of here, I just need you to keep walking toward it. I don't need you thinking about it no more. You're doing too much thinking. You analyze it too much. You're talking yourself out of it. I don't know if this gonna work. I tried and it didn't work. I just need you to keep moving. I need you to make up in your mind that the only way you can lose is if you quit. I just need you to keep going. When you out there dealing with the real world, it ain't pretty. You got to have heart. Get some heart. It can be fixed and you can fix it. But when you pointing fingers and you talking about, I can't believe stuff change. The weather change every day. You don't complain about that. When you get out there, I need you kill or be killed when you get out there. We ain't playing no more. We ain't taking no prisoners no more. When you get out there, whatever you can get, go get it. Because they gonna get it before you get it. And they ain't gonna give it to you. So you go out there and get what's yours. Ain't nobody about to give you your personal freedom. If you're going to get your personal freedom, they ain't giving it away. You gotta go get it. You gotta go earn it. That test might not go away. That pain might not go away. That fight might not go away. You are a warrior. It's time for you not to back up, not to give up, not to give in. You are a warrior. It's time to fight.
If you're going through trials and tribulations, the best thing you can do is handle it. The worst thing you can do is panic. If you ever study an eagle, you see that an eagle flies best when there's storms and winds, because it doesn't have to flap. It uses the wind from the storm to elevate. And so I don't care what your trials and tribulations are, elevate yourself, get beyond the clouds.
Don't worry about your haters. Your haters are like pigeons. Pigeons can only fly so high.
And so you don't have to worry about people and circumstances and situations. You just fly up to an altitude that they can't go to.
You are in control. Not the little voice that gives you all the doubts, and gives you all the negativity, and gives you all the questions. You, the successful you, are in control. And you've got to continually beat that into your brain every time that little negative voice comes around that makes you feel insecure, that makes you feel less confident, that makes you feel like you're not enough.
Stop being a victim. Stop letting life push you around and start fighting back. Because the minute you tell yourself that you control this is the minute you can start to change it. It all starts the moment you take responsibility and say to yourself, I can make out of this life what I want, and no one and nothing is going to shape my destiny but me. You've got to stare all that in the face and say, you can't beat me, I'm too strong.
Many start, but few finish. And that few that finish, that just keep on there in spite of the pain, in spite of the agony, they just keep on. And once they break through that wall, now it's just automatic. It's not a question of whether or not you will do it, it's done. Where you stop worrying, where you begin to trust, you get still and begin to know that you are entitled to this. You're supposed to have this. This is your calling. This is the reason that you're here. This is your time. It's done. When you no longer focus on the obstacles, when you no longer care what people think or what they might say, when you no longer find the need to seek their approval, it's done. It's done. When you say whatever price I must pay, I will do that. It's done when the pressure within you is greater than the pressure outside of you.
You can write everything down if you want to. Be brave enough to write every one of your goals down. But I'm going to tell you something. Life's going to hit you in your mouth, and you got to do me a huge favor. Your why has to be greater than that knockdown.
Are you willing to get your teeth kicked out for your dream? That's why many are called, but few are chosen. Because everybody won't get the beat down. Everybody's not willing to face rejection. Everybody will not talk to 4 people and visualize 5,000. Everybody won't take the controversy. Everybody won't take the heat. Everybody won't hold themselves to a higher standard.
As soon as you write your dream down, somebody about to bust you in your mouth. Whatever it is that thing you say you want to do, they coming at you. The reason why you do what you do is more critical than what you do. Because if your reasoning is weak, you're not going to get it done. Why? Because life is going to beat you upside your head. Life will strip you to the core. Once your balls start tripping, you about to start crying. Once life hits you with a punch or two, you ready to quit. Phenomenally skilled is cute, but it is a phenomenal will that says every time I get knocked down, I will get back up and I will succeed. I will not surrender. But if you weak, you will be broke. And I'm not here because I'm the best. I'm here because they tried to break me and they couldn't.
Think about your community. Think about your kids. Think about the obstacles and the problems, the so-called problems in your community. Think about them. Osborne said, in life, you will always be faced with a series of God-ordained opportunities brilliantly disguised as problems and challenges. We can't judge according to appearances. We must look at the poverty and the despair and the pain and the stress, and in the midst of that, we see prosperity. We see peace. We see possibility.
I'm telling you to dream your dream because I want you to feel it. I want you to taste it. I want you, just like when the weather is changing, you can feel it. I want you to be able to feel when you're getting closer to it and closer to it. If you are still alive, there's still room for growth. There's still room for improvement. You can still get bigger. You can still get better. You can still be bolder. There's still room to grow and be better.
Get out of your head and into your greatness. You can't stroll to your goals. You keep being casual, you will end up a casualty. Death is not the greatest tragedy of our time. The greatest tragedy is what dies inside of us while we're still alive. Not trusting your gift is sinful because by God, it was put in you. I don't know what you've been through, but trust your heart, it will defend you.
You need to use your tongue to validate your gift and look yourself in the mirror and encourage yourself as to how I'm still gifted. I've been through some pain, but I'm still gifted. I've buried some loved ones, but I'm still gifted. I've had some setbacks, but I'm still gifted.
Despite the circumstance, you can win. Despite the giants, you can win. Despite the adversity, you can win. Despite the obstacles, you can win. Despite the situation, you can win. Despite how much money you got in your bank, you can win. You can pull it off.
Why do you do what you do? Why is that important, Les? Because when the storms of life come, and they're going to come, when life pounces on you, and that's going to happen, when it catches you on the blind side and drop you to your knees, and that's going to happen, when people don't come through for you and don't keep their words and don't support you or actively work against you, and that's going to happen, when you want to give up, and that's going to happen, your reasons will be your bridge over troubled waters. You got to know why you're out here, because you're going to get your butt kicked. But you gotta know why you're there, because your reasons, when life drops you to your knees, your reasons will help you get back up. What are the reasons? Write down why you're here. Write down 5 compelling reasons of why you're gonna keep your commitment to change your life. Keep your commitment never to go back to the life that you once lived. Keep your commitment to creating wealth for yourself, to taking care of your children, to be more responsible. Keep your commitment to live a life of contribution, to keep your commitment to be a conqueror, and to act like it, and to have authority and dominion of everything in your life. What are those reasons if life knocked you down, try and land on your back? Because if you can look up, you can get up. Your reasons will help you to get back up again.
What's that thing that's gonna pump you up and get you over that hill? What's gonna pump you up and get you over that mountain? What's gonna pump you up and get you past that disease? What's gonna pump you up and get you past bankruptcy? What's gonna pump you up and get you past that crazy credit score you got? What's gonna pump you up and get you to the other doggone side? I'm talking about hope. You gotta be able to see it when it cannot be seen. You gotta see it in your mind's eye. You have to see it happening. You have to see yourself writing the book before the book is finished. You gotta see it. You have to see yourself graduating even though the teachers are telling you that it's not going to happen. Even though you got the letter saying you're getting kicked out of school, that you're on academic probation, that you're dismissed. Hope, you have to believe in the unseen. Because if you can't believe in it, you will never manifest it. But when you believe in it, you demand the universe to assist you in what you're doing. And if you can see it before everybody else can see it, then it's going to eventually come to you.
Many dreams die while suffering. I'm talking about emotionally, spiritually. It could be a relationship. When you're suffering, you give up on the very things that you wanted the most.
Life is going to beat you upside your head. Before you blow up, life will strip you to the core.
What makes you get up when you fall down? What makes your mentality change if there's a great situation or there's a bad situation? How do you dictate that based off the level of pain?
I need you to evaluate yourself and ask yourself the question, how are you wired? When you have a trial or a tribulation, how are you wired? Does it break you? Your problem is your pain has identified you. Your pain has destroyed you.
All of us will hit the wall. That wall shocked some people. That wall knocked the life out of some people. It didn't work out for them. They hit the wall and they turned around. But there's some small number. They decide, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be over there. This kind of person refuses to be denied.
I'm wired differently. I get excited about no. I love no. I love it. It turns me on. No, Eric, I'll be back. I'll be stronger when I come back.
This person doesn't care about the pain because this person knows something. There's no gain without pain. So this person comes back anyhow, again and again. And if you keep on hitting that wall, here's what happens to you. You will have an incredible breakthrough. And it's as if the universe says, let's help him out. I admire that kind of tenacity. Let's give her a hand. Let's send her assistance, send her resources. It will come out of nowhere. As you're working times with tears falling down your face, and you'll look back on the times and you will cherish those times.
When your mind knows it's not going to quit, your body will adapt to whatever is in front of it.
What happens is you have all these voices that are telling you you're up and this is gonna be hard, but for some reason you put so much practice into you that you can ignore every one of them that are telling you you're not gonna make it and still be able to make it because you have put the practice in that you know this is the process. It's such a daunting task that all the voices are saying no. But you still have the conviction that I know I can do this.
When you get knocked down, and you're going to get knocked down, when you run into some roadblocks and you're going to run into them, you can always be able to bring yourself back in knowing if someone has done it, it's possible that I can do it.
Some of you have been knocked out by life, and you got up and saw the blood. He hit me. Sometimes in life, you have to hit back.
You got knocked on the ground. You had absolutely nothing to do with that. And I'm not blaming you for that. But if I come back a week later, you still on the ground. If I come back a year later, you still on the ground, that's your fault. If you get knocked down, there's nothing you can do about it. But getting back up has every single thing to do with you. And you will promise me that from this day forward, you will not be defeated. I just love myself enough not to be trapped in the same doggone spot for the rest of my life. I love myself too much. So what makes E.T. different than everybody else? Every year I just kept going. And I kept going. And I kept going. And I kept saying one day gonna be my day. But you know what I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna quit in the process. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give in. And the problem with you, you've not recycled your pain. You're still living off talent. And I challenge you, average people live off talents. Phenomenal people live off efforts. Recycle your pain. Get something from it. You already in pain. Use it. Do something with it. Allow it to take you to the next level. Allow your pain to push you to greatness.
Success isn't a straight line. It's a maze.
And when you think you figure that maze out, you hit a wall. And you got to turn around and start again.
Everybody's got a plan so they can hit the bout. So when your plan fails, when you get knocked down the canvas, when everything falls apart in your life, and your plan is what you're going to do, there's only one option. Stay hard.
And I'm not here because I'm the best. I'm here because they tried to break me and they couldn't. Oh, I'm wired differently. I didn't start crying. I didn't say, why me? I'm doing good to the world. I'm not hurting anybody. Why me? I'm wired differently. differently. I can. I will. I must. We turn tragedy into triumph. That's what lions do. It does not make a difference what the circumstances is. Lions don't cry. Lions don't give up. Lions don't quit. Lions hunt. That's what we do for a living. So do me a favor. From this point forward, execution is worship. I don't make the big bucks because I talk. I make the big bucks because I execute.
You don't feel like it today. I know you had a long night. You're a little tired. You don't feel like it. I get it. But if you don't feel like getting after it, I hope you feel like being weak. I hope you feel like not accomplishing anything, because that's what's gonna happen.
If nothing changes, nothing changes. And yet, somehow we expect things to change. You think you're gonna get in better shape. You think you're gonna get more money. You think your relationship is gonna improve. You think you're gonna get promoted. You think you're gonna get a raise. You think the world is going to get better without you doing anything. But it isn't. Nothing is going to change unless you change what you're doing. Change the junk food that you're eating. Change the time that you wake up. Change what you do when you get out of bed. Change what you do with your time. That's what you need to do. You have to change some things or nothing will change. So make changes and start little. Get up a little bit earlier. Get a workout done. It doesn't have to be epic. You don't have to do a 3-hour leg day, but get up and get something done. And how about you plan what you're going to do in the day? How about you change what time you get to work by showing up 10 minutes earlier, and you square your gear away, or you dial in your tools, or your desk, or your workspace. That's what you need to do.
You want to know how to get better? You want to know how to take back control of your life? Stop looking for a sweatless solution. Stop looking for the easy path. Stop looking for someone or something to turn it all around for you. And start looking for your will. Start looking for your discipline.
When you start hearing that weakness creep into your brain, telling you to back down, in that very moment, you've got to decide that you're gonna be the commander of your brain. You've got to shut that weak voice down. It does not get a vote in what you're doing today. Your laziness, your sore legs, your sleepiness, your feelings, none of those get a vote. You're asserting dominance over your mind. You are getting done whether you feel like it or not.
If you tell yourself the truth, and the truth is, I'm not happy with where I'm at. That's the truth. The truth is, I can do more. The truth is, I can be in better shape. The truth is, I can work harder than I'm working right now. The truth is, I can do more for my family. The truth is, I can do much better than I'm doing right now. If that's the real truth, if that's what you believe, if you believe that to be the truth, you won't have to find more discipline. Discipline will find you.
I don't hang with people who can only get up when they got something to motivate them. That's not somebody I want to hang out with. I want to hang with somebody, I don't care what the circumstances, I don't care what the situation. You put it on your back and you like, let's go. Are you hearing me? You gotta have that dog. You gotta be intentional and deliberate. And everybody that's running with you gotta be intentional and deliberate. Discipline is doing what you said you were gonna do when you don't feel like doing it when you felt like doing it in the first place. That's all it is. But most people will not be successful because when there's not anything emotionally attached to it, they're gonna quit and give up. Most people were closer than they ever thought they were to finishing that big thing, but they never finished it because they didn't feel like finishing it, or they were doing it and it was pain. And most people quit in the pain because the pain hurts so bad that they don't know if they want to keep doing it to get to go. Like, you're gonna wake up most days and not be pumped up. You're gonna wake up most days and not feel like doing it. But when you can get to a point that you do it anyway, then there's no way you won't reach any of your goals. And you're gonna have to fight and fight and fight and fight. And most of you won't be successful not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you long enough to get to your new you. There's no one say, I want to procrastinate. I don't want to get it done. I don't want to get to the next level. No, every person wants to make their dreams become a reality.
But the reason why most people will never get it, never achieve it, and never succeed is because you got to give up stuff in order to go up. You gotta make sacrifices. You gotta discipline yourself consistently. You gotta program yourself to suffer on a daily basis in order to reform those lazy habits into ones that build success.
I need you to do that sucks every day of your life. That's how you get better. That's how you get stronger. You embrace the resistance you feel when you're stretching yourself to go beyond what's comfortable. And if you're not pushing yourself, you're shrinking. You are fading away.
And the reason why we fast from time to time is not that we have to fast, but at some point you gotta fast because you gotta tell the flesh who's in control. I'm in control. You're not in control. I know you don't want to wake up. You don't have an option. Get up. We trying to eat. There's a certain lifestyle we want.
Everybody wants it, everybody dreams of it, but very few are willing to work for it. So you gotta make a declaration that you are gonna be one of those few people who will make it happen. Talk is cheap, so you shut your mouth and grind. Your actions will speak for themselves.
You make those little changes, those little habits that you have to change them, those bad habits. And you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. The little things, the little changes, they add up and they become big things. Change the little things, and over time, you can change your life. But if you don't change what you're doing and how you do it, nothing else will change.
Reset your brain, reset your habits, reset your life.
Sooner or later, everything in your life is going to tell you to stop. Everything's going to tell you to give up. Everything's going to test your limits. But that's okay.
It's okay to be tested. That's how you get stronger. It's okay to cry. That shows you care. It's okay to want to give in. That means you're human.
Rough times are going to come. They're going to beat you to the ground. But these times have not come to stay. They have come to pass.
Sometimes not getting what you want is the most valuable experience of your entire life. Sometimes utter pain. Pain is the greatest asset in the world, because when people succeed, they party, and when they fail, they ponder. That's where the change comes from. What if problems were always gifts? What if every single problem really was a gift in your life? What if every problem you ever had was life happening for you, not to you? What if everything in our lives was guided? What if everything in our life was divine timing? Everything, even the pain. Every problem is temporary. Only your soul is permanent.
This is not the end for you. There is still hope. If you can muster up enough strength to hold on and hold out, you can get through this.
Because you're tougher than this. You can overcome more than you think you can. You're more powerful than you can ever begin to imagine.
The way you get to the next level of your life is keep going. Keep going, keep running. Even when you don't even know, even it turns into chaos. Because if you can operate in chaos, the world becomes Disneyland. Problems become scratches. I can lose my car. Somebody can blow it up. I'm gonna go have some sushi with my wife and think about the solution, not the problem.
There is another level. The only reason you keep saying there isn't is you feel so exhausted about where you are. But life, the universe, or God is just testing you, because there is another level. There's a level where all your dreams are realized. There's a level that you've always dreamed about. It is real. It has not gone away. But it takes that extra burst when you think there's nothing left. There's no way. You've tried everything 10 million times and you keep going. If you keep hitting this wall enough times, I will see that you will not stop, that you are filled with that level of determination, faith, and courage, and then the door opens. And it's just 2 million years above, and most people give up because they're exhausted. And there's some people who go, the harder I hit it, the more I hit it, sooner or later it's going down, I'm not stopping. And when you do that enough, it pops open. When you're in the darkest place, when you feel like all is lost, when you think there's no way to turn it around, remember this: victory is near.
This is your life. This is your dream. You're the master. You're the captain of your ship. Don't let anything or anyone take away that thing you want. But you gotta be willing to stand up to failure stand up to pain, stand up to trials and tribulations, and decide within yourself that I will not stop until I get what I want.
I will not stop in the middle of the process. I will not surrender. I will not be defeated. I will take everything that happens to me in my life and I will turn all the pain into my fuel for success. The hard times I'm facing might make it more difficult or inconvenient for me to get where I want to go, but it will not stop me. It will not determine my reality. I'm the only limit for what I can become and achieve.
You have not seen the best days of your life yet. The best for you is still yet to come. You can do more, be more, have more. But you have to start living your life in expectation of great things. You've got to start expecting things to work in your favor in order for it to happen. If you live your life in positive expectations, that's what happens to you. But if you live your life in despair, that's what happens to you.
Your journey, your fight, it's not going to be easy. It's going to test you, push you, challenge you in ways you never imagined. But that's the beauty of it. That's where you find your true strength. You'll discover parts of yourself you never knew existed. Every challenge, every obstacle, every setback is an opportunity to grow stronger, to become more resilient.
Your dreams are worth the struggle. Your goals deserve your dedication. They are worth the pain, worth the blood, worth the sweat, worth the tears. It may not feel like it right now in the middle of what you're going through, but you will be glad you stuck it out.
Let every no, every rejection, every failure drive you to do better. Let it be the reason you push harder, go further, reach higher. I need you to embrace the journey with all its ups and downs. For it's in this journey that you find your true self, your unbreakable spirit, your unyielding determination.
The road to success is littered with the stories of those who gave up too soon, who let their dreams slip through their fingers because they stopped when they were just a step away from greatness. You are stronger than you think, more capable than you know, and more resilient than you believe. Inside you lies a well of untapped potential waiting to burst forth, but it requires you to keep moving, to keep striving, and to keep saying to yourself, I will not stop. Today, make a pledge to yourself. A pledge that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how impossible it seems, you will keep going. You will face the storm, you will endure the pain, and you will overcome the challenges because you are a warrior, a champion, a dreamer who dares to fight for what they deserve. I'm not a failure. A failure is someone who's given up. I won't ever give up. I won't ever give in.
Every single one of these obstacles in your way is an opportunity in disguise. The greatest achievements often arise from the ashes of our greatest struggles. The night is always darkest just before dawn, and it is in this darkness that your light has the chance to shine the brightest.
There's going to be things that go on that are out of your control. The worst thing you can do is let something that's out of your control control you. Get control of yourself, get control of your emotions. Don't get angry, don't get frustrated. Instead, stay calm and figure out how to move forward.
You are closer than what you think. You're close, and the devil done told you, just get a divorce. You close, hold on. You close, you about to drop out. You going too far now. You ain't got but 2 credits. Hold on. You 3 kids in. You can't quit now. Hold on. But this is my 6th time taking it. You gonna pass on the 7th. Hold on. But you better get something from all that hell you've been through. I'm talking to somebody. You ought to get excited. You are 100 yards away. You are 100 yards away. You can see it in the distance. You can see it in the distance. You close, boo. Don't give up now. You close, my brother. Hold on.
I don't care if you have to inch your way day by day, even if you have to crawl, even if it hurts even if it's harder than anything you've ever been through. And nobody can see what you're really going through. And people are laughing at you, and they're doubting you. If you don't quit, this pain, this tragedy, this trial, this will become your greatest moment of growth. This is what makes a champion. I'm telling you right now, your lowest moment will be the birthplace of your biggest success. Even when everything inside of you screams that you stop, you've got to keep fighting. Fight through the tears. Fight through the storms. Fight through the battles with your family. Fight through the battles with yourself. Fight through whatever is in front of you, and don't ever stop fighting.
What you're going through right now is necessary. You are forging the skills. You are forging the determination. You are forging the grit. You are forging the fortitude. You are forging all the things that nobody else is gaining because they're sitting on their hands and you're willing to push through.
And it's not going to be easy. If it was, everybody would do it. But I know you have the ability to make it happen.
You gotta learn how not to give up or how not to give in, but you gotta find your why, and you gotta understand that greatness is within you, and you gotta pull it out. You gotta climb every mountain. You gotta pick up all the weight. You gotta cry if you got to, but whatever you do, you cannot give up. You cannot give in. And if you give up and give in, you will never experience greatness. So keep going.
If we can realize that life is always happening for us, not to us, game over. All the pain and suffering disappear.
And realize if it was easy, everybody would do it. Nobody ever said it would be easy. But I know greatness is within you, and you got what it takes. So get up and let's make it happen.
You know, the war that you have to really fight is the war against yourself.
It's you against you. You against you. There's no hack, bro. There's no hack to grow that thing. How do you grow it? Do it, and do it, and do it, and do it. That's the hack. The hack is gonna suck. You gotta build your will.
No, it's not easy to look in the mirror and to change your own life. It's hard as you have to take responsibility. You have to learn new things. You have to feel uncomfortable. Because discomfort is how we grow. That's how we become strong. You have two paths in front of you right now. One path is the easy path. You don't have to change anything. Everything in your life that you aren't happy about can be someone else's fault. But the end of that road isn't pretty. The other path is the hard path. It's going to be downright painful. You will have to force your brain to think in new ways. But eventually, you will start to feel empowered. You will realize that you have the greatest power of all, the power to change your own life. You will be stronger than you've ever known.
When you give up, your mind thinks it's over, so it stops growing. There's no development when you give up. But when you can say, screw this is awful. I'm overwhelmed, I'm in pain, I'm struggling, I'm hurting, but decide not to leave, your mind gets the message. It realizes he's sticking around, so we need to adapt, we need to improve. That's when different parts of your brain kick into gear. You start using parts of your mind you never used before, especially when you're struggling and you refuse to quit.
I am sick and tired of earning a shitty spot in this world and then blaming every single person around them. I'm sick of watching people stuff their faces and do nothing and expect to have this great life. I'm sick of people showing up and doing the minimum and expect to be wealthy and successful and all the things that they say they want. It just doesn't work that way. When's it gonna be? When is it gonna be that you are finally not full of Make the change that you need to make. Become the person you need to become. This isn't about losing 20 pounds or 30 pounds or 100 pounds. This is about becoming a person that can control their external environment and make decisions that serve them no matter how hard those decisions might be, no matter how inconvenient those decisions might be. That's the only way you're going to solve this problem long term. Your only solution is to become the kind of person who can do the hard things when everybody else stops, when everybody else takes a break, when everybody else quits. This is going to be a full commitment to creating the kind of person that can make the right decision even when it's the last thing they want to do. When they're tired, when they're sore, when they're hungry, they will still make the right decision. When they're stressed, when they're frustrated, when they're angry, they will still make the right decision. When the world is crashing down on their shoulders, they will still make the right decision.
Every day, you should look at yourself and ask, what am I prepared to do to achieve what I want? And if your response is whatever it takes, then you'll eventually get there.
You're setting an example every single day. You have to consistently challenge and work that damn mind of yours. It's a mental machine that needs constant pushing. The cost of regret is far heavier than the cost of discipline. You don't want to wake up one day and regret not following your instincts, not doing what you wanted.
Don't live with regrets. If there's something you want to do in your job, in your relationships, in school, just do it. Life is all about mastering this mental game. Once you conquer this mental game, it stops being a game. You start actually living your life.
Every day you have the choice to either succumb to the seductive whispers of ease or to rise above and challenge yourself. You gotta recognize that the path to greatness, to real growth and achievement, lies in doing the hard things. The things that require effort, dedication, and a relentless pursuit of your goals.
It's about realizing that every difficult step you take is a step towards becoming a stronger, more capable version of yourself.
When you're committed, you start training your mind to seek growth over comfort, embracing the struggle rather than avoiding it. This mental shift is what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary.
The most successful individuals are those who can act independently of their feelings. They don't negotiate with their emotions. They separate themselves from these fleeting states and focus on their goals. By taking control of your emotions, you become a disciplined, goal-achieving machine, capable of accomplishing anything you set your mind to.
This isn't just about today, it's about setting the stage for your future. Every decision, every action is a building block for the future you are creating. It's not solely about the goals you achieve, but the person you become in the process.
As you build your future, your vision becomes clearer, and each victory sharpens your focus, transforming your goals from distant dreams into achievable realities.
Discipline is the weapon against mediocrity. And every time you choose to rise early, opt for healthier options, or hit the gym despite fatigue, you strike a blow against weakness, thereby strengthening your mind and character. You need to cultivate the voice of a champion within you. This is the voice that compels you to get up even when you're tired, even when everything in you wants to stop.
Become the person who cannot quit. Become the person who can say no to the things that they know they're supposed to say no to. Become the person who makes the right decision regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the hardships, regardless of the pain, regardless of the frustration. If you become that person, you have no limits in your life. There is no stopping that person. Start today. And in 365 days, you will look back and you will say, that was the day. That was the day that everything changed. That was the day that my life changed. That was the day that my family changed. That was the day my community changed because I changed.
I dare you to work on yourself for 6 months. I dare you to shut out the world. I dare you to shut out all the distractions. I dare you to give up everything that is keeping you from your dream.
Every day when I wake up, I got all kind of demands. You got all kind of demands. And the reason why you're not where you want to be, you taking all other people's stuff before you spend enough time with yourself to get to know you and get to know what you want and what you should do. Come on, y'all heard it a million times. In case of an emergency, put the doggone mask on yourself first. And the problem with most of you in this room, you giving it to everybody else first. And then you pissed when you give it to everybody else first and you come up short and you wonder why you came up short because you gave it to everybody else first. Take care of you.
In order to have unbelievable choice and options in your life, in your pursuit of your dream, you must eliminate them. You must shrink your focus down to one thing, one business, one focus at one time, and master it and get great at it for an extended period of time. The irony of life is that the more you shrink your options in pursuit of your dream, the more it'll open them up in your life later. What are the things that are stealing your focus? Who are the people that are stealing your focus? And begin to eliminate these distractions. Get laser focused and obsessed on what you want. Be starving and hungry to get it. Be desperate to get it. The combination of desperation and hunger with laser focus over an extended period of time is the formula to be great at something.
If you want to show me you want to win that bad, pack your calendar, because everything is based off of activity. Very few people want to show their calendar, because if they did, you would realize who really wants to win bad and who doesn't. It's mathematically impossible for you not to win at the highest level if your calendar is packed from day till night, every single day.
the entire year without you winning. Embed that long-term goal in your mind, burn it into your soul. Think about it, write about it, talk about it, hang it up on your wall, but most important, do something about it. Every day, do something that moves you toward that goal, that keeps that goal alive and in sight and in focus. However small or insignificant that step might seem, take it, make it happen, because that goal isn't going to achieve itself. It is all on you.
Champions are focused on the goal. They don't have time to be doing stuff that's not going to help them toward the goal. So all the little stuff you talking about, all the little social media, cut it off. Cut it off. Do what you're supposed to do. You ain't no boy no more. Get off social media. It's killing you. Get off of it. Stop Netflix. Who you watching? Watch you. You got a job to do. That's what you're getting paid for. Have some pride. And the problem with some of y'all is you want somebody else to support your dream. It's yours. I don't owe you a dime. It's your dream. If you wanted to have it, get up and make it happen. If you wanted to have it, rise and grind.
Our obsessions become our possessions, but we won't possess them if we're not truly obsessed. Turn your damn TV off. Turn your phone off a lot too. Don't be so obsessed with them. Be obsessed with your own reality TV program called Your Own Life. This suffering, this sacrifice you're making is an indicator of progress. It's an indicator of obsession. Suffering and sacrifice and hard work is an indication of progress towards our dreams. The price you will pay for not making your dream come true is far greater than the one that you will pay to make it come true. You'll pay that one the rest of your life. And so ask yourself what you're willing to risk. What's the price you're willing to pay?
Stop negotiating the price. It's a freeing experience to totally commit. When you totally commit to a business, to your fitness, it's a freeing, powerful, it's almost like removing kryptonite from your life when you totally commit. Can you do that? The people around you are saying, it's costing too much. It's costing too much. You gotta start going, no, it's worth it.